Guys, Marsinkin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to take a look finally at the Black Janemba, or as the game has called him, Janemba Modified. I know there's a few people that were quite excited for this guy to get a Heroes card. I'm trying to remember who it is, but somebody in my comment section in the run-up to the Heroes celebration was very much hoping that we would get this guy. And from what I'm generally seeing, people are pretty disappointed. Just from reading his kit, it doesn't seem like he's that great. But I've seen some screenshots of him with very, very high defense. And there was a bit of a discussion yesterday on the timeline that I saw about how exactly his guard passive works. So he does supreme damage with his super attack and raises attack and defense by 30% for 3 turns. And then his passive is he has a high chance to guard all attacks for 5 turns from the start of the turn. So he guards all attacks when facing 2 or more enemies. So that's just guaranteed. But against 1 enemy, he has a high chance to guard for 5 turns. He gets attack and defense 30% per crossover ally on the team, up to 150. So obviously we have a full Heroes team, so we have that. He gets an additional 50% attack with each super attack performed up to 150. And he gets an additional defense 30% with each attack received up to 90. Then he has a high chance to crit starting from the next turn after he's performed or received 5 attacks. So that means you probably want to go for mostly additional, especially because of his super attack effect. And then I just gave him a bunch of dodge. Now, it'll be interesting to see how he changes in the future, but the discussion that I was seeing yesterday on the timeline is basically whether or not that chance to guard can actually proc again. So say, for example, on turn 1, well, this is turn 2, but it's his first turn. If his guard activates here, it means he's going to have guard for 5 turns, but then what happens after that? So we've got him linked up with the baby Janemba. They share 3 links. Unfortunately, he's another character that they decided to give him links that make sense for the character, but then don't fit in with a bunch of other units on the team, which is unfortunate. And he's starting out at 156k defense, which is obviously not a lot. So we need him to get built up, and we obviously ideally want that guard to go off. So let's see what happens here. All right, so he did guard. So guard is active. Still takes 100k from this guy's super with his guard. That's crazy. But we've been hit enough times to build up most of his defense now, I think. Was it 30% up to 90? So he's basically built up now in terms of his passive. But then remember, he raises attack and defense for 3 turns on his super attack effect. So it'll be interesting to see what he's looking like at the start of the next turn. Now, one thing we obviously do have to keep in mind is the fact that he is an SSR, right? Him and Golden Metal Cooler, they don't awaken, which means now that, assuming they're going to keep following this trend that they've started with the Robel and Supreme Kai of Time this year, they should awaken next year. We used to have to wait 2 years. That's absolutely insane. Honestly, I think even waiting 1 year is crazy. Like, rather than having a banner that has 9 or 10 units, they should just bring out like 7 or 8 units and actually have them all awaken, because it just means that this guy, whilst he does have some potential, I don't really see an instance where I'm going to use him, right? Like, if I'm going to be running the Hearts Extreme like Heroes team, am I going to be putting him on it most of the time? Probably not. Don't share any extra links with Cooler. At least he will pick up Shattering the Limit when he awakens. But so now we're at 374k defense at the start of the second turn. That is actually pretty good, considering the fact that we know he's going to guard this turn because we got the proc last time, and we've built up the defense from his passive because he got hit 3 times. He still can build up his attack twice. So it would be really nice if we could get a double super on this turn, but let's see how this plays out here. I mean, honestly, for his second appearance, that high a level of defense with guard is actually pretty good. The problem is going to be whether you actually can ever proc it again once it's run out. So he got the guard last time, he's got the guard this time. That means he's going to have guard on his next appearance, and then after that is when we're going to determine whether or not we are essentially on our own. So, wow, all this whole rotation with their Ki Blast super attacks, you love to see it. I really like using this stage to showcase units because it's harder than the Legendary Vegeta event, but it's still not like super hard. because I don't want to do my initial impression, like, you know, showcases on an event where you just die straight away. But obviously it is still possible to die if you get tagged with like a type disadvantage super, or some units on, you know, depending on the team build, just can't take supers at all. Tech Janemba, like, he seems like he's in a good enough place in these earlier turns. But then the question is, like, what's he going to look like after that? So, you know what, actually, I haven't done this in a video yet because I've been showcasing other units and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do this and then have this as a rotation. So our boys are getting 7 links active. Oh, except the friend doesn't have big bad bosses. Perfect. I guess, to be fair, the one that I want to be the defensive unit, it probably is better for him to have big bad bosses active. So, yeah, we'll just go ahead and do this. So yeah, see, Hearts with all his links active here should be looking pretty decent. Yeah, 4.83 million, considering he's only getting the support from his own passive, and there's no other support units on the rotation. I would say that's pretty good. And then the Rainbow Friend, 6.7 without big bad bosses active. That's pretty good. Imagine if he was link level 10, like, big bad bosses would be pushing that up to quite a nice number, especially when we get the guaranteed additional and both of his supers are raising attack and defense. So, yeah, let's see. Oh, wow, we get the additional from the hidden potential as well. Well, rip this guy. Good to have a nice rotation here with all units that don't have Ki Blast super attacks. And we finish this guy off. So, let's see. So, this should be Janemba's final turn where he does have guard guaranteed, which unfortunately seems pointless because we are not going to... Wait, do they only share shattering the limit? Okay. Oh, we're going to get the super here. Okay. So, 322k with no support on the rotation. And then considering that he's still going to be able to get one more stack of his super attack effect, because he's only supered twice so far. And then we're going to get our full attack should be built up now, because he gets 50% per super attack performed up to 150. So this is the last one, 2.5. I mean, I guess with the way his design is, even though he is building up a lot of extra attack, I probably wouldn't ever be expecting him to hit really high attack stats. He's just all about the defense. But even so, I think that's a pretty good example right there. The fact that we're type advantage with guard fully built up and we didn't tank for double digits from the super. So obviously that means, I mean, guard, it doesn't really matter too much about the type advantage, but imagine how much damage he's going to take from, like, the metal cooler core super attack if he's still taking like a few thousand damage from type disadvantaged Oceanus. Like, doesn't necessarily bode all that well for him if we're being completely honest, but 310k no go. I mean, as long as she doesn't super slot 1, Hearts will be okay here. And if she does super slot 1, it just means we'll activate the transformed Hearts big bad bosses, which we are going to do apparently. So yeah, 414k. Yeah, Hearts not the slot 1 god when his guard has run out, unfortunately. 5.4 million on his attack is pretty damn good though, with all of his links and then the support from Cooler. Like, Cooler makes this rotation go ham with the 40% extra support. And of course, because of losing so much HP, this Hearts has big bad bosses active. So this Hearts is just going absolutely crazy now, which is pretty awesome. Man, I really wish he just had permanent guard untransformed, because then unironically this rotation would be so good. You just transform one of them and then run the other 2 together. That would be such a great rotation, but it is what it is. Golden Cool are going to finish off Oceanus here. Now, this is the thing that we have to... this is where we have to start sweating a little bit now with our boy, is the fact that we don't have guaranteed guard anymore. So, what I'm going to do here, I am going to heal and use the item, because I just want to make sure we don't just get immediately destroyed. You're not going to share any extra... Oh, you share... Oh, yeah, Janemba does have big bad bosses. See, that's interesting, because that does make a big difference. Yeah, he's got 431k defense now. Yeah, that is a pretty significant difference. I completely forgot that he has big bad bosses. Which is good for him to have that link, but like, he shares no other links really with Hearts. Doesn't really share a ton of links with Mechi Carburer. So him having big bad bosses, it's good for linking him up with other Janemba units, but again, with the way these heroes units are designed, it's not exactly the most optimal way to run him with other Janemba units. But let's see what he does here. I'm interested to see both his attack stat and then whether or not we can actually guard. Because we've got type disadvantage in this second slot. So 4.27. So I guess that's probably like the most we're going to see, because there's no other way we can get big bad bosses active with him. Aside for, I guess, floating hearts, and then him obviously giving the support. But yeah, I mean, we're not getting the guard. We did tank for under 100k, considering we got type disadvantage. But this guy, I noticed, hits way weaker than some of the other bosses. I'm not sure which order they're going to go up in, but I recorded the 200% God Trunks video, and he took less damage from this guy's super than he takes from Nova in the next turn. So obviously this guy just does not hit particularly hard. So we'll go ahead and do this. But yeah, guard did not activate at all in all of those hits that we took. So I feel like what that really means for this Janemba is that he's going to be good in Super Battle Road, and that's kind of it, maybe. Unless the boss has type disadvantage, like I guess Broly. It'll be interesting to see whether Black Janemba is actually good against Broly. Because he doesn't need his guard once you get to that later stage. Plus, he's one of those units that, because the chance to guard is from his first appearance, it's actually, if you're going to take him up against some of the harder bosses, you're probably much better off if he's in slot 7. Because then he doesn't appear for the first time until turn 3, which then means he has all the way up until turn 8 to activate his guard. And then when it activates, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know. This guy's so weird. It'll be interesting to see when they easy A him, if they amend his passive at all. But now we've got the support from Cooler. We're at 374k. Let's put him slot 1 and see what happens. He doesn't get any extra links from Cooler, so there's no real reason not to. I mean, he does get a little bit of extra defense on Super, obviously, but let's see. Yep, see, still no guard procking. We are taking double-digit damage, and then 3.67. I feel like the potential is there. He's definitely not like as awful as I thought he was when I first read his passive, but he's just another one of the heroes units, as I've said already, that really suffers from, they gave him links that make sense for a Janemba unit to have, but then you can only really run him on a team where like there are no other Janembas. Like this baby Janemba works well enough as a link partner for him, but doesn't have big bad bosses. In fact, if I bring up the actual, let me look at his best link partners here. His best link partners, 6 links, are STR Super Janemba, Int Super Janemba, and Transformed Tech Janemba. And then he does share 5 links with LR Janemba, which obviously those include big bad bosses, which is going to make him look way, way better. But yeah, he's just kind of a weird design. If he didn't have this crossover allies thing, then he would be so much better, because he's on Corroded Body and Mind, Accelerated Battle, which those are teams that Janemba is on. But every Janemba, well, I guess, let me see, what was his, it's 30% per crossover on the team up to 50, yeah, so you need 5 crossover units, including him, because it doesn't say other crossover allies, so it does include him. So that means you need 4 other crossover units, and then you have 1 other option, which you could then put, like, LR Janemba, for example. But, like, what team are you running that kind of build on, right? Because if you're going to run 5 other crossover units and Janemba, I don't know what kind of team build that actually fits under. So let me know what you guys think down below. Obviously, I think he has good potential for the future. Like, he's got a very basic art, and I've seen some very cool arts of Black Janemba from Heroes. So I imagine his TUR art is going to be pretty cool. Hopefully, once he gets his awakening, they make his passive worded a little bit clearer, or just make it generally better overall. Like, he has guaranteed guard against multiple enemies, which is another reason why he's going to be better as a Super Battle Road unit. But I just think his what he has now is not quite good enough, right? Every time his guard runs out, you should be able to proc it again, and then I think he would be much better. But let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what you'd like to see when he gets his awakening. I think he can definitely be good in the future, but it's just annoying that they release these units and then we kind of have to wait for next year for them to be really, really good. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.